G'day everyone and welcome to episode 595 of Aussie Tech Heads. It's the 2nd of August 2018. How you going? I'm Glenn. As you may or may not know, we've got another great show for you this week. We're actually recording live a bit earlier this week. I've got some commitments on Thursday night, the normal Thursday night, so I'll be watching bands at school and hoping the little ones can win a prize. So that's all hunky-dory. All right, we are brought to you by azhwebhosting.com.au. If you're after some shared hosting glory, you can jump on there, get your own hosting space, install some WordPress, Joomla or Drupal, whatever you like. SSL certificates all on SSD drives to register your domain and all that, and you'll be up and running within 5 minutes for sure. All right. We can be found on facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads and youtube.com/Aussie Tech Heads. You can get the show notes at a later date after the show at aussietechheads.com.au/podcast. Follow your notes to the show notes. And we can also be heard with a lot of other little radio podcast techie shows on the Aussie Tech Radio, which is on the TuneIn Radio app cross-platform. So just install it on your device, search up Aussie Tech Radio and away you go. All right. The other shows to look out for is the Aussie Mac Zone, the My Tech Opinion, and the Aussie Tech Crypto. So go and have a look at those, whatever takes your fancy. If you're in the Mac, if you're into more in-depth look into certain topics of the week that Shane and Phil bring you, well, you can go and have a look at My Tech Opinion or Aussie Tech Crypto. Jace and Will talk about the crypto world. And my Ripple hasn't recovered since I bought it at $3. I think it's now at 67 cents. So I'm waiting for the boom. All right, so let's see who we've got this week. We've got a new face this week, but we're going to go. We'll say good day to Jordan first. Hey, Jordan, how you going?
How are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad.
Fun to be here this early.
It is. Right. It's daytime. Look how nice
Yeah.
the picture is. The camera picks up. It's a lovely day. All right.
Yeah. Turn your lights off and everything's good. You can save your coin today on your lights.
Exactly.
And we've got Jason. We've got Jason on the Facebook Live by the look of it too.
Oh, all right. Oh, g'day, Jace. All right, and yes, and for this week only, a new face to the show. Paul, how you doing, Paul?
Hey, good, Glenn. Hey, Jordan. How you going?
Yeah, good, thanks. And look, tell us a bit about yourself, Paul. Where are you from? What do you do? And I don't know, whatever else you feel like saying.
I have a computer service business based in Toowoomba, Queensland, and just thought I'd join you guys. I'm an enthusiast in this field, obviously, and thought I've been listening to you guys for years and years, as I've mentioned in previous shows, and I thought I'd put in my 2 bob worth this time and join you.
Good stuff. Now, you're in Toowoomba, so what do you do? What do you do for people? You go out to their house and help them do what?
Yeah, we specialise in technology support for individuals, homes and small businesses. So that can range anything from fixing a virus right through to a supply or sourcing of a computer and preparing computers custom built to whatever the customer's needs are.
Right. Well, you better tell us what's the name of your business.
It's called Entire Computer Services on my shirt there.
All right.
Entire Computer Services.
And you're on the Facebook? We can search you up on Facebook?
I'm on Facebook, yeah. Just do or on Google, you'll find plenty of links there. I've maximised my Google listing at search for Entire Computer Services.
Excellent.
You will find all you need, including a website.
All right. Now,
Do you service computers in Victoria?
If you're happy to pay for travel or I can work remotely, absolutely, mate. Need some help?
All right, good stuff. Now, so you're in Toowoomba, and what sort of internet are you got up there? You on NBN or are you still on dial-up?
I'm running all of Toowoomba. We've been rather fortunate here, unlike poor old you there, Glenn. We've got we've had NBN pretty much rolled out through the whole city now. There's been about 60% of the city is about fibre to the node, and the rest is majority of the rest of that is fibre to premises, which has been in for about a year or two.
Right. What do you got into your establishment?
I'm fibre to the node. I'm a bit of a skinflint, and I've just I survive on 12 megasecond plan. Would you believe, with one of the smaller operators?
Well, look, 12 megasecond is really depends what you're doing. If you're just doing, just fixing the computers or whatever, I think, even if you're watching a few Netflix or something, unless you've got 4 people in the house, I think 12 meg, it's probably good enough. It is probably good enough.
We are heavy users, but it's a good management and the gamers in the house, which is my son, they generally just suffer.
All right, and what better tell us? Are you Apple, Android, Windows, Mac? What's going on with that?
Windows, and Android. No, not a big Apple fan because I find them a bit top heavy if you want to really customize and get them all right. Okay for the average person because they're easy to use, but yeah, primarily I'm a bit of I'm quite an Android fan and fanboy actually.
All right, good stuff.
And Windows as well.
Do you service the Macs when you're out on your jobs as well? Do you like?
Fortunately, I haven't had a lot of call for it, but I've had to do a couple over the time. And you sort of, I'm not experienced in it, so you sort of blunder your way through, like we do with a lot of these things.
Yeah. Oh, look, yeah, I don't take any Mac jobs, even though I could possibly do them. I think I obviously stop at pretty much anything more than hard drive and RAM, and these days you can't even open them up, so I just go, nah, it's too much. Because I've got my little Mac.
What about the software side of it? You'd service, like if someone wants help setting up an email or something, surely that's...
With Mac?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I just haven't had a call for it. Fortunately, I haven't had a call for it, and therefore that's hence why I don't have much experience in it.
Is there an Apple store in Toowoomba? Where's the nearest Apple store?
No, there's this... No, not... What, Sydney? You mean a proper registered Apple store?
Yeah. Be Gold Coast then, is it? Brisbane?
There's not... I don't even know if Brisbane's got one.
Yeah.
We've got this one that's a pseudo... it's a version of an Apple store, but it's not one of the official ones. They're not called an Apple store.
Yeah, I think there's one in... Oh, look, I could be wrong here, but I think there's Queen Street. That sounds like a big street in Brizzy. I think there's one south of Brisbane somewhere, and I know there's definitely one at Robina, because I've been there. And
okay. Well, in Toowoomba we have nothing like that.
Right. Okay. Well, that doesn't matter. You can come down and see us next time you want to buy an iPhone. I got
iPhone. No thanks.
I got an iPhone. My Android's going all right too, by the way, just quietly. It's
one of my clients one of my clients, one of the Xiaomi, the MIA one.
Oh yeah.
Have you got Jordan? You kept talking about Glenn's MIA 2 last week. You've got MIA 1, haven't you, Glenn?
Yeah, it's a MIA 1 or 2. I don't know.
I asked you last week if it was a 1 or a 2.
Yeah, you probably did.
And Glenn said, I don't know, I think it's a 2. And you said, okay, we'll go with 2.
Yeah, probably. Look, I wouldn't have a clue. I just know it works and it's going pretty good. I got the July update just recently, and so that's good. I was happy with that, and yeah, I've got no problems. It fixed a few little issues that I was having, just with, I used to take it off silent mode, and then it must have stored them all up overnight, and as soon as I took it off silent mode, it was just going beep, 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 and it would go for about 2 minutes. Like with all these notifications that otherwise would have made a sound, they started making a sound as soon as I took it off the silent mode. But anyway, that's all gone with the July fix, or update, so that's good.
So you on Boost or LD? You never told me which one you were on.
Oh, I'm on Audi. I was going to go with who those are. Belong, that's right, but they didn't.
Belong, that's right. Someone said to me Boost is really good and that they're on the Telstra network, but I don't know. I haven't Googled it.
Look, I was really just about to pull the switch on Belong, and I just got on their website, and for some reason I saw they don't do voicemail, and I went, uh-oh. And then so, I texted or sent them a message, and they said, no, we don't do it, but they plan on him bringing it in soon, but just not at the moment. So I said, well, you bring it in, and I'll have a talk to you.
Have you seen how Telstra have I've just received messages last week that all voice messages now are all texts, sent as texts as well?
Yeah, right. You better get used to it, Glenn. That's the future, mate.
Yeah. But now I've got a full inbox because I never ring up and delete anything now. They just text it to me and...
Yeah, so what are they trying to save? Storage or something, or what?
Well, it's not going to save storage if everyone starts getting them on text because they won't ring up and delete their messages.
Yeah, look, I don't mind if I got them on text, I guess, but what does Belong do? Are they a text converter, or they just don't have it at all?
Because Belong is owned by Telstra, they use exactly the same Telstra system, which is please leave a 10-second message and we'll convert it to text and send it as an SMS.
Right.
With another company I'm with, which I was with previously was Vaya, they had a really good system, which I found great, which was text to MMS and just records the audio. You have it's an automated outgoing message, which you wouldn't like, but the recording doesn't get converted to text. It actually gets sent as a audio message, which is great.
Yeah, okay. Well, while we're on little good things that we've may or may not have found, that we're talking about iDrive a little while ago, and I think Eric brought it up at one stage. And so I decided I'd have a look at it to replace my crash plan. And look, I thought of, I was looking at iDrive, I'm thinking of Jordan, going, I'm thinking of Duplicati, I'm thinking of all these recommendations. And I just went, I just want something quick and easy because I've got other things I have to do. So anyway, signed up for this iDrive. I think I got it for $50 for the first year, 50 US. And when everything was hunky-dory, everything's good. And it says, you've got you can do this on the phone app as well, Apple or Android. So I went, Android, went to the Play Store, downloaded the iDrive app on the Play Store. And you never guess what came up on the first screen. Sign up now for $6 a year. So thanks very much. So I did it. If I had done the app first, I would have got for $6. So if anyone out there is looking for storage, backup storage, there you go. If you want to do the iDrive, go and download the app first. You'll get the first year for $6 rather than bloody 50. But anyway,
that's all right. That's still pretty good.
Yeah. Look,
how much space do you say you get for $50?
2 terabyte.
2 terabyte.
Yeah, so she's plugging away. Oh, she's probably actually still going as we speak. I should have turned it off, but everything seems to be running all right. So we'll leave her go. We'll leave her chug. She's got 1.3 terabytes to get through, so we'll let her chug. Now look, let's get into some stories this week. Apple's expensive iPhones. Now this is the title of this heading. So we all know that they are quite expensive, and that's one of the reasons, probably the main reason why I didn't replace my success with another one. But anyway, Apple has responded to a plateauing global smartphone market by launching ever more expensive phones and diversifying its services. So I guess what they're saying there is that their phones are more expensive, but because they're selling less, they've increased the price of them, so they've made up the shortfall that way. So that's what they're doing. So Apple is also buying back this is US dollars, $20 billion US dollars in stock in the quarter. It's part of its $100 billion stock buyback program. To give you an idea of just how many phones these people sell, Apple sold 41.3 million iPhones in the fiscal third quarter. So that's 1 quarter of 1 year, 41.3 million. It's just hard to get into your brain, hard to imagine 41 million in a factory, just coming off the lines. They're so intricate. But that was below expectations of 41.8 million. So damn it. The average iPhone is now selling at US $724, and shares rose 3.4% to $196.80. But that's not what you're interested in. The thing that you're most interested in is with a market capitalization of more than $900 billion. Could Apple be the first $1 trillion company? So
they're getting close to it. They've been pushing for it, haven't they?
Yeah.
But what I don't get is, how can you put your phone prices up because you're selling less? They were always expensive.
From what I understand, I've read Apple's really targeting the top 10% of the market, which is the big money spenders, because even though they're the biggest phone manufacturer, whatever it is, or they're not the most popular phone. I read recently something like 80% of mobiles out there are now Android, and that's because China's got a huge chunk of that market.
Well, I think Apple's been trying to get into that market, and I think they have got into. Well, they've got into the market, but they're just not. It's just not taking off, and probably because they are expensive. They're expensive. They've got a following, so I guess that's what's doing, isn't it? They just got the following. Because, I don't know, like this iPhone 10, wasn't that costing up to like $2,000 or something? Let me have a look at this, see if I can get...
There's been a lot of complaints about the iPhone 10 too, hasn't there?
Oh, like what?
I don't know, I just hear people
not
saying
happy?
that they're not as happy with it as they thought they were going to be.
Yeah, right.
Well, the expectation is relative to the price usually.
Yeah, well, that's right.
I'm just...
And with Apple, it's high expectation, isn't it? You go
Absolutely,
like going into a movie with high expectations and walking out dissatisfied because your expectations were too high.
Yeah, now I'm just... You guys can't see it, but everyone else can. I'm just on the Apple page now, and I'm just going to tell you how much these iPhone 10... Oh, jeez. So there's the iPhone 10 5.8-inch display from $1,579.
That'd be a smaller version. Is there a big one as well?
That is the from version. I've got to go through all their claptrap to find out a few view front and back and chat and do you want this and do you want that. Finish. I don't know, view front. I don't know. Just okay.
So
Still,
you're buying one now, eh?
I'm well on the way. Now, 64 gig is 1579. 256 gig is 1829.
What about the actual screen size? Is there a bigger version, like what do they call it, Plus?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's like look. It doesn't say. I don't think so. I think it might just be the size might be a plus version. It's just 5.8 inch. That's all they've got.
That is pretty big. It's probably is a very bigger version.
Yeah, that's all there is. So anyway, you get space grey or silver. But anyway, that's enough of that rubbish. They don't pay us to talk about them, so that's them. Now, Paul, you had some stories you wanted to tell us about.
Okay. Okay. I'll cover. Talking of, I'll start on a.
See, what I do is I put everyone on the spot when they're new. So I put.
You sure do.
Now he's flipping around.
Yeah.
Flipping
That's
around.
right. I must still be new then because he puts me on the spot every week.
Oh, keep us on your toes.
Okay, I got an article here. Facebook, Instagram to allow users to set limit on how much time they spend scrolling, which is I'm seen to be the unlimited scrolling. You just sort of flicking, and then you find yourself 2 hours later you're still scrolling.
Yeah.
Through Facebook. Facebook and Instagram are set to introduce new tools to help people manage their time on the social media network, including a time limit and a dashboard showing users how much time they have spent scrolling.
Right. So, so what are they going to be able to restrict you from?
It'll be a manual setting. Apple's going to bring stuff like that in, like, oh, you've used your phone for too long. Yeah, we're going to turn it off or something. It'll be a manual setting on your phone. Just self-discipline yourself. It's been coming to discourage people from spending such.
Yeah, we've talked about it before.
You get depressed if you scroll down Facebook feeds for more than about 2 or 3 hours.
Oh, geez, who does that? Do you do that?
No.
2 or 3 hours. I'll go back to once I realise I'm back 2 or 3 days. I'll stop. I think it's all old news. I'm living in the now. What about you, Jordan? Did you have something to say about that? Yeah, you a scroller?
Oh, I can be a scroller.
Just Vegemite.
I think sorry, I think the auto screen switching thing's not happening. I just kind of took my attention there for a second. I've got to put it back on. I am a scroller, and we did read an article not long back, something similar that they're bringing that out to discipline themselves, that they're just doing too much, Facebook time and too much phone time in general. I think
it was more aimed at kids, but I think this one looks like it could be more aimed at adults.
No, it was adults. It was
okay.
It was across the board. Yeah, I remember reading something about it not long back.
And look, it's probably a good idea. I would turn this on, and I wouldn't choose 8 hours. I'd probably choose 15 minutes. If I'm more than 15 minutes on Facebook, I'd like to get a slap in the face and say, no, get off.
It's just a notification. It says the new tool will allow users to set limits on the amount of time spent in an app, which will send a notification when a time limit is reached. So it's not a hard penalty.
No, that's right. But it's a reminder, because you do get, you get taken away, don't you?
Well, I use an app with my kids called, and I can never pronounce it, and you'll know it the moment I say the name. Is it Kaspersky or Kaspersky or
Kaspersky? I think it is.
Kaspersky.
They've got an app called Kids Safe, and I use that. And that you can either lock the phone at a certain time, or you can schedule the phone for a certain time, or an app for a certain time, and it pops up and says, time to take a break now.
Can they ignore it?
They can ignore it. You can have it. They can ignore it. You can choose to let them ignore it, and they go okay, and they continue on with a warning, or you can actually block it and say, and they can't open any other apps. It's blocked. And it's a free app.
Right. Okay, that's all right.
You can pay for it. I was originally thinking you had to pay for it, but if you pay for it, it only gives you access, I think, to their location and their texts. But you can't see the text. You can only see who the text's from. You can't actually see the actual text message, and that's only on Android. So if you're on Apple, you can't view text anyway. So
I think there's a feature on there that if they press ignore, that sends a report to Dad.
It does.
Oh,
Well-
it does. Okay. Right.
Yeah, so you've got an app on your phone and you get the reports all day long. So if they try to access a locked app, like, like one of the social media apps like Facebook or something, it sends a report saying so-and-so has tried to access this app.
And also a report to Vladimir, which is good. You just got to watch those
Yeah,
Ruskies.
reports to Vladimir as
Like
well.
Kaspersky, yeah.
But that can put limits on certain apps and stuff like that on Facebook and that. So I think Facebook doing it is great, but it really needs to be across the whole board on the whole phone.
And Instagram, because I think they own Facebook. Facebook own Instagram, don't they?
Yes. Yeah.
But it's all of it. It's Snapchat. It's Instagram. It's everything really. It's your whole phone. I mean, we get stuck in our phones just reading, the news. You get stuck reading anything.
Look, I
You
don't
can
know.
get stuck if you open up your phone to Aussie Tech Heads. You get stuck there for half an hour.
Oh, you'd start for an hour watching the show. But you look, I'm probably doing less time on the Facebook only because I think it's just a bit more clunky on the Android, to be honest. I don't know why. It's just something I just don't like it as much on the Android. And Paul might be able to give me some after hours tuition.
Maybe it's your phone.
But, well, it's the app. But anyway, let's get on to. I've got another one here. We all do speedtests.net. Every 5 seconds when we've got a problem, we think, oh, how fast something's wrong. Speedtest.net. Well, they gather them all up. Apparently, they look at everything. These guys over the Ookla, whoever owns it, and Telstra has been awarded the Australia's fastest fixed network and mobile telecommunication provider by Ookla. Is it Ookla? It looks like Ookla.
Yeah.
Yeah, Telstra earned a speed score of 47.27 based on an average mobile download speed of 53.42 and an upload speed of 17.53. So that's not too bad for upload downloads on a mobile. I could live with that. Vodafone came in second. Telstra has won the mobile speed test 4 years in a row. So they're going all right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, look, Telstra's always been the fastest. Like, let's be honest, they've always been probably the most quality and the fastest network. It's just that the pricing is a bit of a thorn in the side, isn't it? And the pricing is why I left them. The award was based on speed tests of all Australia's major network operators over 6 months period to June 2018, and the mobile award measured the internet speeds of more than 481,000 users across 1.7 million tests. I reckon I had about 100,000 of those. And the fixed award measured 9.8 million users over 15.8 million tests. So,
Fixed award as in landline internet like NBN.
I'd imagine so. Yeah.
It's surprising that Telstra wins that one.
Well, why? If they got the NBN, if they're, I think. Look, probably. Yes, I know everyone's got the NBN. Everyone's probably getting the same speeds these days. But then you'd have to think. Well, Telstra's got. You would have to say the market share. Of Australian fixed line.
Oh, yeah.
So therefore there'd be more tests coming from Telstra networks, Telstra IP addresses.
So it's not necessarily a fair measurement then.
No, well it's just measured from the speedtest.net site. And whoever, it's not an exact science. It's like, old Joe Blow on dial-up. If he sat there doing 500,000 speed tests, well, the Telstra's going to be slow because there's one person doing dial-up speed tests. So,
okay.
Yeah, so it's an inexact science, but it's it probably gives you a fair idea, So
it's a very trusted measuring tool.
Yeah, well, some people I've heard they don't like it. They say it's not a true indication of what the speed is, but I think it is. Like, you can I go from me to Brisbane and I'll get the best speed available. Then if I want to go to a speed test over to San Francisco or something, you can see because it travels the distance, well, the speed drops. So
you can't go changing around, because if you change your speed testing tools, you're not calibrating. You're not measuring on the same platform. So you've always got to use the same one, whatever you use.
Yeah, well, I think that I'd do the speedtest.net. That's the easiest. I think everyone here would. Jordan, you'd do the speedtest.net.
Yeah, I use it all the time.
Yeah.
Someone said to me, Oz broadband or something. There's another one that people get caught on. The Google one I find is just constantly out of whack. It's never the same.
Well, I always compare the Google or whichever others are. I go, someone says I've got so and so download, and then you say, okay, let's compare that to speed test, and they're often different. Especially like my son will say, oh, Facebook's going really slow. and or the internet's going slow, so okay, let's do a speed test. Compare that to what his Facebook says, and they're often very different figures, which is not controlled. It may be out of our control.
So I see speed tests as probably the most reliable. Yeah. Do you know, speaking of Telstra though, I've got a similar. Well, it's kind of almost the same thing. If I can butt in with your story, because
I'm finished.
I'm saying Telstra lands at the top of Netflix speed.
Oh yes, yeah.
Index. So after 2 years at the bottom of the list of the Netflix Internet Service Provider Speed Index leaderboard, Telstra has caught up and has now the highest speed. So every month, Netflix Australia ranks sixth of the country's ISPs based on the streaming provider's own calculations of download speed test during the prime time.
Yeah.
It's a kind of not very well written. That from April 2015, a month after Netflix landed in Australia, until August 2017, Telstra was listed as the slowest provider. But from September 2017, the telecommunications giant started to climb up and has been the fastest provider since February 2018. That's an interesting thing as well to add to that, what you're talking about with their speed with Telstra. I think you kind of get what you pay for at the end of the day, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I think the NBN has sort of been a bit of a big level the field. Everyone's on the same, pretty much the same network, aren't they? Everyone's just resellers now. So pretty much that's a level playing field. But before, when it was ADSL, you had different. Well, not that you had different copper lines in the ground, but that you had to rent them from Telstra. But then Telstra wouldn't give the same service to people maybe not on their network. The ports in the exchange. The Optus ones might go a bit rusty or something. Just go, leave them for another 6 months. But some of ours are rusty. Fix them straight away. I wouldn't be surprised if all that stuff goes on. But yeah. What else, Paul? What else have you been looking at?
Okay, I'm just was having a look here. I might cover one which is close to my heart, and that is concerning Windows updates.
You love them.
I love it, yeah. An open letter to Microsoft about poor Windows 10 update experience. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's pretty long. I'll just read the first paragraph. Susan Bradley, an 18-year Microsoft MVP, whatever MVP is, Microsoft.
Most valuable player. Programmer, player, person.
Whatever.
I'm a valuable player. What are you talking about?
It's probably partner. So anyway, it's probably partner, but we'll go with player.
Focus on Windows patching and patch management, and sent an open letter to Microsoft executives Satya Nadella, Carlos Picotto, and Scott Guthrie about the frustration Windows 10 users have when dealing with installing new updates. This letter includes the results of a survey taken by over 1,000 consultants and over 800 customers regarding their experience with Windows 10 updates.
Well, yeah, and so what she's saying is the guts of the gist of the story that they take too long, there's too many, and some break.
Yeah, and they break things, and I'm so worried, especially with my clients, and I've got mission critical software, especially custom mission critical software running on a machine.
Snapchat.
Very Snapchat, yeah, sure. Fairly hesitant.
You can't do the job without some horns or a nose or something.
That's right. Sorry, Paul.
Automated updates can bring on failure problems at the worst times, and if you're going to have a failure, it should be under a controlled environment.
Especially the restarts; they always take ages, don't they?
Yeah.
But I think
where possible, I try and suppress updates and manually control them. But Windows, they seem to get around all that, and it does its own updates anyway.
Yeah, I think I don't have too many issues with updates. I think it has got better. I think if you can keep the computer up to date, it's a lot better. I think if you get a computer on your desk and maybe someone's suppressed the updates for a while, you turn them back on.
Oh yeah,
and then you might have a bit. I think Windows 7 was as a pig for that. Like sometimes I'd leave a computer go. It would have to go overnight, and that's probably the first hour would be just to determine if there are updates. And then, it found them. And the worst thing, it wasn't like an automated process. You had to be there. It goes, restart now. And you have to push the restart. And if you weren't there, it would just sit there on that screen until the morning. When you go, well, why couldn't you just keep going overnight?
What was that?
That still happens.
Yeah. Oh, it probably does. Yeah.
What was that application you can get that downloads all the updates onto a USB stick?
So yeah, we were talking about this morning. Woosus.
Yeah, something like that.
Have you tried using it, Jordan?
I've got one here. I haven't used it for a while. It's been set up on a folder on the desktop, and I think I used it.
It's probably out of date. It's
probably it was a long time ago, but it would download all the updates for either Windows 7 or 10 or whatever, and then you just go and install them. You could do all your what do you call it? What do they call it? Framework, the framework ones, Net Framework, and all those other ones.
Oh yeah, .NET.
All of it. You could do the whole lot under a USB stick. I think it had about 16 gig of updates on there, and you just go from the computer and update it.
With high-speed internet now, it's not such a big issue because we all go to sleep and sleep for 9 hours. So yeah, or 4 hours or whatever it may be.
I've got a little story here on the same issue. Kind of. Maybe you can clarify what this means, because I'm a bit confused by this story, but it says that Windows 10 is to be bundled into Microsoft's new monthly management plan. Redmond is reportedly calling it Desktop as a Service offering Microsoft Managed Desktop. Microsoft is putting together its Desktop as a Service offering that will support Windows 10 devices that it's reportedly calling Microsoft Managed Desktop. The service will provide customers with the ability to lease a Windows 10 device or automatically provisioned for them with an operating system regularly updated for a single monthly fee. The key difference between Microsoft versions of Desktop as a Service from what many companies already offer under that term is that Windows 10 updating component. Currently, Windows is updated twice a year and can sometimes cause issues with software compatibility. And to fix it, Microsoft is looking to offer the Desktop as a Service plan. So they're saying that they're kind of going to, the way I'm interpreting this, I suppose, to me, is that they're going to offer to pay a monthly fee to have Windows.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds, I bet you that's probably nothing new. Someone else has probably done that, and they're just trying to offer a more smoother process.
I think Windows already does that with their Enterprise Edition. I think you can subscribe to that monthly, but that's like a different story. That's Enterprise. But I think the Windows as a Service, is that like, say, like you're just grabbing it off the internet? Like, is that what it is? Would that
be like Chrome, Chromebook or something that's not?
Yeah, like it's not the full hog of Windows. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to.
I don't think I'd be up for paying a monthly fee to have my Windows. I think I prefer to just go and buy a one-off fee.
Well, especially now that it doesn't look like you're gonna have to buy any more. You know, once you've got Windows 10, it just appears that's the way the world is. They're just free updates now.
And I have to agree. The days of Windows buying and owning the software doesn't really matter because everything will be Windows 10 and there's no buying anymore in the future. How Microsoft's going to make money, I don't know.
Well, they're making their money out of the cloud. I think they've just had a bumper year just of cloud services and stuff.
Yeah.
So you think there won't be like a Windows 11 or 12 or anything like that? You think
no, they've announced that 10's their finish off because the competitors like what's that other big one?
Apple.
The one you can't remember the name for.
I don't think they charge for operating systems.
No, not now.
They stopped. So I don't know how Microsoft think that they could charge a monthly fee for theirs. But I suppose it's for that Desktop as a Service version. I don't think it'll be that exact.
I reckon it'll all be an automated process, and it won't be a human doing anything.
Yeah. Well, I'll just Google it. Let me go Windows.
Desktop as a Service is what they called it.
Windows Desktop as a Service, and we'll see
that's a play on the term software as a service.
Yeah. So see, because you got Amazon Workspaces. I have used, like a few years ago now, I did use some service that you could load it up, and it was your desktop in the cloud, and for all intents and purposes, that was your desktop, and it worked. It was like a thing. But Microsoft, here we go, desktop plan for Windows. So this is saying continuous stream of complaints regarding instability, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this must have been the one. Here's Microsoft, currently called, and it will be Makers version desktop as a service. Looks like Microsoft. Yeah, it doesn't really. I can't. It's too long to read. But anyway, but it looks something I wanted to just talk to you, say about the those updates before we got off track a bit, was the. No, that's all right. That's all right. That's what happens.
I thought it was kind of the same thing because they're saying that we're going to pay to have these updates instead. We pay a monthly fee and we get a bug-free operating system.
Well, what's a weekly show without a tangent or two? That's all right. That's what we do. That's what we do, Randy. That's how we roll.
So I was kind of thinking it was on the same topic. But
Yeah.
right.
But these, we're talking about the WUSUS or WSUS or whatever you call it, the Windows updates, program. And what that happens is you download all the updates onto one machine, and then you plug your network in, and then each computer will be able to drag the updates from that one machine, saving you bandwidth. So that's that WSUS. But also with Windows 10, as you might remember, the Windows 10, there's a switch in there that will allow you, if you've got more than one Windows 10 machine, you can set one to receive the updates, and then the others can just share it from the network also.
Yeah, that's automatic, isn't it?
Yeah, but have you tested that because I deliberately tested that, as I said this morning, I tested that, and I thought, boy, I've got these 3 machines I'm building right now. I do a bunch of updates. Then I looked at usage and said, 3% has come from it locally, the rest from Microsoft. And the only thing I can think of is the host machine didn't have, it wasn't fully up to date, which I thought it was.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what happened there, but you want to maybe test again. When did you do that? How long ago?
Last night. I started about 7 o'clock last night.
Okay.
And I had 3 machines running simultaneously on my 12 meg connection, and it cheesed the rest of the family off for the rest of the night.
I'm sure it did, especially on 12 megs, yeah.
And I had a look this morning. I thought, I'll have a look at these percentages. And I thought 3%. I thought, hang on, well, that doesn't sound right. So maybe the host machines are up to date. I'll have to test that. I've got more machines to build at the moment, so I'll test that theory.
Yeah, well, I think, look, mate, it's supposed to work. It's supposed to work. And if you want to find out where to find it in Windows 10, you need to open the Windows Update. In the Settings app, tap on Update and Security, and it's in there somewhere.
No, yeah, so you go to Advanced Options, and then you go down to Delivery Optimization.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. Yep.
And then you've got allow downloads from other PCs on network. I don't recommend PCs from a local network or internet. That's just not fair if you ask me. Using your download to do using other people's upload to do updates.
Well, depends. They're probably, unless it's been turned on by accident. But like if people, it's like the big file sharing, the torrents. If someone's says, I'll share my torrents. Well, you don't feel guilty about sucking their bandwidth.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's turned on by default now, but it used to be turned on by default.
Did.
That was coming from other users.
Yes.
Peer-to-peer, and I don't think that was against my policy, I suppose.
Yeah. I remember when the Windows 10 first came out. I just went through and turned them all off. Google, Chrome, Mozilla, Firefox, and Edge, Jordan, have all adopted biometrics API. How exciting. So, the API...
Edge, Microsoft Edge has the lowest RAM usage now, apparently.
Oh, that's right.
I said the other week. I was excited.
You're an Edge man. I reckon Edge has got a future too. I'm not using it, but I think Edge has a future.
When I heard someone complaining on Chrome the other week about how Chrome's a memory hog, I thought, you beauty. Now I don't feel so bad putting Edge down for it.
So what's this biometrics thing?
Yeah, the API is a worldwide consortium effort that makes it possible to use a device's hardware or other schemes to gather authentication credentials. Microsoft, Google, and Mozilla and others have backed the spec in order to reduce password use online, as websites that don't need to store them are less of a target for criminals. So what it is so if you can open your browser or open a website just by looking at your camera or whatever, and use that as your password, well, they're saying that that's going to be more secure for everyone, because there's no password to be hacked, so people are going to have to hack your eyeball or something, or come up with some other biometric clone. But yeah, so that's the guts of that. It's just that in the future,
hack your eyeball.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so there's also provision for using USB fobs for authentication. The API was first drafted in 2016, but is currently just a candidate recommendation. However, before a final endorsement, it must pass through the proposed recommendation and the W3C recommendation stages. So it's not here yet, but that's where it's going. And when you sit down and think about it, you think, if it could do away with even LastPass, how good would that be?
We could do away with two-factor.
I kind of really love the idea of having LastPass. I think we had this discussion with Joe last week. He was saying that Google were using the USB sticks in house.
Yeah.
UEBs or whatever they're called.
Yeah, and I'm like, but I like having LastPass because I don't want to have to carry a USB with me and remember everything. It's kind of.
But this way, you just have to carry your eye around, and you'll be you'll be right. How good's that?
What if you forget it?
Well,
Like, what if I forget my eye?
you'll have to have a spare one, like a little ping pong ball.
What would Apple call? What would Apple call eye security?
Eye
security.
Oh, hey, pirates.
Captain.
Aye, Captain.
All right, Paul, we're getting towards the end of the show. What else have you got?
Okay, yeah. On the spot again, of course.
Well, I can go for another one while you find that, because I've got a couple more before we end. Outlook rolls...
There's one, hang on, there's one I want to finish with, which was about the alarm clock one, which is a little one.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll go with yours, eh?
All right, then we'll come back to you next. Outlook rolls out dark mode, inverted colour scheme. So I guess you could probably guess what that is, but it's just, Outlook.com. It's only available on Outlook.com. At the moment, it's it's blue, black on white. So the dark mode is inverted. So you've got white on black, pretty much.
I can't believe how much you've embraced Microsoft in the last few months.
Oh, listen, you have no idea. I'm serious, you have no idea.
Since we talked about that Office Outlook Online and Word, you've embraced it.
I have. Look, I have embraced it. I have Office 365 now for my emails. I've started using OneNote. How good is OneNote? I love it.
So when is the show notes going to switch over from Google?
Well, it might very soon. I even gave Teams. I invested a few hours into Microsoft Teams. It didn't work how I wanted it to work, but I'm sure they're going to fix it. The problem with the Teams was it's like a Slack or whatever, some sort of communication for your team app. But with the problem, though, I can't believe it, but the problem with the Microsoft Teams is that you sign in as one organisation and that's it. Like if you've got another organisation that you want to be a part of a team of, or a member of another organisation's team, you've got to sign out of the Microsoft Teams, sign back in again as...
Oh, that's no good.
No, so I'm sure they've got to fix that. But I put a bit of time into that. Look, Teams looks great. When they fix that up, I'll come on board. But yeah, loving it, Jordan. You've converted me. I'm over. I'm here. But anyway,
just one question on Teams. Is that a part of Office 365?
Yeah, but there's also a free version as well.
Okay, because I'm in State Emergency Service. I'm the tech support officer for Toowoomba region. I'm just a volunteer, and we use Office 365 in that organisation. And there's some people have talked about maybe Teams could be a possibility to collaborate between all the different groups and units and stuff like that. Yeah,
so as long as, say, everyone... can be under the one organisation. It saves them from signing out and back in. At the moment, I think the best idea is to maybe look at something like Slack. That's not too bad.
Right. I haven't used Slack. I don't like the sound of the name.
But they've been working on Teams for years, though. I remember reading that article kind of probably 3 or 4 years ago. They were talking about Teams, and then it went quiet for a while.
Yeah, so I think it's back. I think they're putting a bit of focus on it.
They'll put a bit of effort into it. I'd say those changes you are hoping for will probably happen.
I think they got a bit of
the obvious ones.
Yeah, I think they got a bit of a bite in the bum about Slack. They thought that the stories I was reading the other week was Microsoft's trying to halt the progress of... Well, they can see a market there, can't they? And they've got Office. Why wouldn't they have a collaboration tool? I did try... I thought, Teams was not for me at the moment. I went and had a look at Yammer again. And although that was okay, and then I remembered that they're going to close it down, and I think that's still on the cards. But so I thought, well, I'm not going to start something that they're going to close down. But anyway, this dark mode, let me finish on this quickly. Dark mode for Outlook.com. So it's only available on Outlook.com. No idea when it's going to come to the desktop versions of Outlook. So apparently there's a switch at the top of the inbox. Dark mode can be toggled off and on. The company.
Do you use either of you use Outlook.com?
Well, not now that I'm Office 365. So,
okay, because I'm still using Outlook.com.
Isn't it the same thing?
No. Office 365 is are different. It looks very similar, but no, they're not the same.
Oh, you mean the actual Outlook installed on your computer?
You can go to office.com and it'll take you a different website with a slightly different look to outlook.com.
Because I just use the outlook.com.
Yeah, if you've got Office 365 and you're using the Exchange, the Microsoft Exchange, then your login for the online version of your emails is something like, I don't know, portal.outlook.com or something.
Yeah.
So it's something different. It's not outlook.com, which I thought it was too until I loaded up Office 365. Oh, yeah, look at this. All right, well, I've got another one, and then we'll go to Paul for his last one. Look, through the week, you might not have known, but on July 27th, that is System Administrator Appreciation Day. So I don't know if anyone here got any birthday.
I didn't get appreciated.
No, I didn't either.
Not even tech. Nothing.
So,
I don't think anyone knew.
I certainly didn't until today. Now, it was last Friday, the July the 27th. Now, the organisers of the day suggest that the day that all fellow system admins across the globe will be showered with expensive sport cars and large piles of cash in appreciation of their diligent work. I'd be into that. It's a nice token. But then admit that a nice token gift and some public acknowledgement is probably more realistic. In case so one system admin was asked, "What would you like for the system admin day?" This was a lady. She responded, "Don't call me today," as one present.
Yeah.
Another one was, "If you call me today, turn your computer off and on before calling, and a cake would be nice." So there you go. Remember that for next year, July 27th. We should all just go to the pub and see what happens to the computers or the.
See what happens to the world of computers.
That's right.
Because all the IT guys will be down the pub.
That's right. All right, Paul, how'd you go with that one?
Okay, I got this one. Here is Google announces Android clock. It's only a little one. Google announces Android clock can now use tunes for Spotify to wake you in the morning. I don't know if anyone uses Google clock to wake themselves, do they?
No.
Well, you, Jordan?
No, I just used just the phone alarm. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's Google clock in that case. You're using Google Android.
Yeah. It's just the clock in the phone. Yeah.
Yeah, well, now with that feature, that's Google Android clock, which is a clock you're talking about. Yours would too, Glenn.
Yes.
Assuming you wake up.
Oh, sometimes.
The clock, you know how you normally got a selection of like so many, probably 6 different ringtones. Well, now you can select a song from Spotify if you want to.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that idea.
Yeah, I remember days, years gone by when you used to have to plug a USB or a disc in an alarm clock.
Yeah. Jeez.
I find myself having to hit the snooze button every 5 minutes, and I reckon I do that about 10 times. And then I think to myself, I've got to pick up Facebook and read it now for 15 minutes. It'll stop me going back to sleep.
Yeah, that does the job. Have you seen those clocks, those alarm clocks that get around those gadgets where they use other techniques other than audio to wake you up, where they might vibrate, or they might one had like an arm on it with a hand on the hand, a glove on the end, which would slap you to wake you up when you're asleep.
I've heard of things like that. Yeah.
You need your phone to entice you when it goes off. It needs to say, "Good morning, Jordan." You know, someone has left a terrible remark on Facebook about you. Get up and read your Facebook.
You could probably set up like a Google alert for that sort of stuff that would send an alarm to your phone to say if when someone posts a review about you somewhere on Google. You'd probably set that up. What's that IFT thing? You could probably get that to do something like that. But that's
been a nude picture found of you on the internet. Get out of bed quick.
Not another one. Jeez.
Not another one.
What you could do is have a bank account set up, and it actually donates to charity every time you press snooze.
Right.
Gee whiz, that charity would go right, I reckon.
Yeah. I might have to start a charity.
You want to be the account holder of that charity, I reckon.
It'd be good. All right. Well, I think
that's it for my article.
My donations every morning, and they'd be like, "Jordan's taken an hour to get up this morning. How many donations he's done?"
Look, I have this. I don't know what it is, but it's just this ability that if I've got to get up early in the morning, like this morning, I set the alarm for 5:50. And I woke up at 5:30. I just wake up before the alarm goes off. I don't know what it is. I just do it, and it's
the
just
anticipation.
It must be.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
Wow, what an
I
exciting
can't wait
life.
for my alarm to go off. Come
I-
on.
I know. That's all I do. Now, look, we have to bail on this week's show, but look, there's another couple of stories that Paul had that you can find in the show notes. One was about a Huawei is the world's largest smartphone maker, and
Second largest.
second largest. Sorry, and you've done all and his parents paying fortnite tutors for kids. You're kidding.
Your kids, you can do it for your kids.
Well, I'm their tutor.
No, you can use Fortnite people now.
Oh, right. I thought you meant tutors to teach them how to play.
No.
Right. I got it. See, that's what happens when you just read headlines. But
Yeah.
But yeah, the kids hate me. I tell them I can't because I can't play it right, and then I keep coming second. Because you got to come first, and I keep coming second. And they go, but you don't shoot anyone because all I do is I just grab a couple of things and just hide until it's
So you try to talk it over, do you, rather than fight?
I just hide, and then I'll make the last person come and find me. And so the kids hate it because they go, you keep getting second, but you're not killing anyone, you're not doing anything. And I say, when you want the master class, you come and let me know.
Yeah, just hide for as long as you can.
That's right. That's what I do. It's worked for me a few times. All right,
Yeah.
let's get out of here. Well, it was good to have you on, Paul. Great to see you for the first time and on the show. That was excellent. Very well done. And thanks, Jordan. Thanks for coming in at the early hour.
That's right.
I hope you didn't have to
say doing it this early. It gives me my evening off now.
Oh, it's good, isn't it? Except I've got to go to to school. But I was going to crack a joke and pay you out. But I forget what it was now. Oh, you didn't have to set your alarm to get up for this show today?
No, I was actually already up.
Oh, good.
I was already up.
All right.
If it had been 2 o'clock.
Yeah, but pushing it. Yeah, good stuff. All right, well, thanks, guys. That's been good. You can get us on the iTunes, get us on the YouTubes, get us look at us and follow us on Facebook and all the other jazz. And yeah, good stuff. If you've got a comment, just give us a buzz. You can reach us all at whatever our name is at aussietechheads.com.au. I know Paul hasn't got an email. I've got to catch all. If I see one for him, I'll shoot it over to him. All right? Okay, Thanks, everyone, and have a good week. Bye for now. Go the Sharkies. Bye-bye.
See ya.
See ya.